Well, if you don't know what save scumming is, you've come to the right place. Save scumming is the fine art of playing part of the way through a game of Football Manager and then ending it early so you don't lose. There's an art and a trick to it, and that's what we're about to explore today. There are two different approaches to doing it. One of them involves you quitting mid-game. One of them involves you doing the save scum after the game. So we'll look into both of those here in a second, and we will start with the in-game save scum. All right, so we've reached this point of the match. As you can see, my wonderful formation is not doing particularly well. We're down 1-0, and you know, it might be time for us to make a little bit of a change, but let's see, maybe we will draw. No, probably not. And so we get to this part of the match and we think this is awful, I want to get out of this. So what we do is we'll pause it here, and we want to click here on this little icon, not the gear icon, but the one right next to it. So again, it's this little drop down right here. It's confusing because you think that the drop down refers to the gears, but it doesn't. This drop down here will allow you to go back and look at the highlight. It'll allow you to rewind 10 seconds. It allows you to record. Does it work? No, but it will allow you to do stuff that doesn't work. You can get your debug stuff if you want. And you can go back here to home. Now, when you go back to home, because you're in the middle of a match, it's going to say match right there. And you have a choice. You can quit to the start screen. Or I'm sorry, you can quit the game and exit. That is what we're going to do. Quitting this game and exiting is going to let us save scum. So we quit the game and we exit. And that will end Football Manager for us. And in a second, we'll be able to get ourselves back into Football Manager and go back to where we were. So we go back, we will open up, here, I'll show you my screen. Go back here and we'll open up Steam. While we do this, I'll get my screen fixed up a little bit. There I am. And so here we have our Steam open, and we go back over here to the library, go to home, and we open up Football Manager again, and it will start just like it normally does. And so it takes a second, and we go through the login screens and all of this stuff, right? And what we'll see here in a second is that the game will be just where we left it right before we started the match. So one key to remember if you like to save scum, I don't think that I did this, but you might want to make sure that you save right before the match so you don't have to go back through and do a whole bunch of stupid stuff to get yourself back up to where the match was, right? So as you can see, we're not right before the match. This is right after the last match because I forgot to set it up like that. But that's what you do if you want to save scum in the middle of the match. Now we'll take a look and see what you have to do if you want to save scum at the end of a match. All right, guys, now for the second type of save scum, there's something we have to make sure we have set up first before this will work. We want to go over to FM and preferences. You want to go over to advanced, make sure that this includes all. The thing that you want to turn off, I've already done it, is you want to turn off autosave, right? If you change this setting, it'll ask you if you're sure. So yeah, you're sure you want to change it. You want to make sure this is not checked. And the reason why is because if you're like me, you're going to have it automatically save right after matches. You don't want to do that if your plan is to save scum. You want to make sure that you save right before the match, however, because you don't want to go through and do a whole bunch of, backroom stuff and all this. If you do it the wrong way, you'll notice that the backroom stuff, for the most part, is really predictable and goes in a cycle. It's not much fun. That's the way that it is. So we're going to go over here to fixtures, and we'll go to our tactical meeting and our team selection. And that's where you'll see this beautiful tactic that we have, including Holland in goal. We have specifically demanded that certain injured players play, and we want to make sure that we have fit players also, or unfit players also playing. If it were up to me, we would get all of these injured guys also onto the roster, but we can't do that. Now what we want to do is we want to hit the instant result button because we want to see how our save scum does. So we won't use a match plan. We'll just go ahead and say yes. We want to proceed with simulating the match. It will give us that screen, and then the match will be done. And so the match was simulated. It was a 2-2 draw this time with Forest, which is incredible. I'm amazed that we scored any goals using this tactic, right? But it gives you an idea of how important those player attributes are. especially the two that I always show. So, okay, we've done this. We got our 2-2 draw, and Ederson's upset. He's upset because it was playing him out of position, which, you know, is, I mean, he needs to get over that. So what we can do is we can load the game. Do you want to save the game before you load another game? No, we don't. We're going to go back to this save file and we're going to load it. And when we go back to the save file after loading it, it's going to take a second because this is, you know, old-fashioned FM23. It's not one of the new toys. What we will see is that we are back to the preview before the Forest game. So if we want to play through this again, we do the same thing again, go to our team selection. Ederson was upset with me, so I better play him up here. And we'll click on instant result again and see what happens. So yeah, we'll see how Holland does in goal today. Piece of cake. I think that Manchester City have this one in the bag, and we lost this 3-1. So yeah, what we can do after this is we can go back and we can save scum again and again and again and again. There are people who will do this 100 times or 1,000 times until they get the result that they want. Now, that brings us to the important part about save scumming, which is that save scumming is a major, major problem for your save if you do it over and over and over again. I understand doing it like once in a while because like something, you know, didn't happen the way you wanted it to. You didn't have anybody available for like a cup match. That happens all the time. But if you're doing this over and over again in your save, it's going to become very boring. You can always save scum and get a result, right? I mean, we just got, what, a 2-2 draw with Manchester City with the most ridiculous tactic that you possibly can make. Well, one of them, right? It still worked, right? That's my point, which is that, you know, if you keep save scumming, like, you know, the RNG in the game will eventually go in your favor and you'll be able to make totally ridiculous things happen. So there you go. That's how to save scum. That's what you do. And those are the reasons why you probably shouldn't do it. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.